Hi guys, so today I want to speak about how you can find the right yoga teacher training for you. So if you are like thinking about taking up teacher training and you're just wondering which one is the right one for you, and you're trying to figure out among the many options which are out there which best fits your particular needs, then this video could be very helpful for you. Hi guys, so I recently did another video about the question how you can find out if you should or you want really to take up yoga teacher training. Maybe you have practiced yoga for some time and now you want to take that next step and you really want to learn it in a very profound way, so that you're able to teach others and transmit this powerful tool which in some way probably has affected you. Now maybe you're wondering, okay, so many different options out there, so many different teacher trainings, which one is just the right one for you? So actually there are two girls who just recently asked me that question. So Tina and Paula from Germany, you both seem to be interested in doing a yoga teacher training. So I want to speak to you about this, but of course to anyone else out there who might be interested in this question as well. See, I can understand that you must be, it's very easy to get very confused about this question. There's just so many different programs out there, and where to start, like how can you even possibly figure out which teacher training makes most sense for you? So I'm probably gonna share a lot from my own story, because this is just like all I know. I'm not actually, I have to tell you right away, because I want to make sure you don't have any wrong expectations, but I'm not an expert on different kind of yoga teacher trainings which are out there. I don't actually know all the different trainings, and I cannot give you like a comparison of this is the advantage of that training and that, but I have a kind of an idea of what's out there and what's the range of different programs and how they're structured. And so I'm just gonna share from my experience. See, I think first of all, when you ask yourself that question, it's very, very important that you first of all keep in mind why you wanna start that teacher training, okay? I assume you have a good reason because you are already looking for a program. But when you look for a program, always keep that reason in mind, okay? Why do you want to do it? Probably, I hope, you want to do it because you want to, first of all, you want to explore this yogic science. You want to explore it in its full depth, and you want to really discover its potential. And you want to do that probably also, one reason is in order for your own growth, and another is because you want to also teach it to others. I've spoken about this in this other video where I told clearly that I think it's very important that both of these reasons are there. If you start a teacher training, that one thing is you want to work on yourself, but another is you definitely also want to teach it. And if these both things are there, then it's a great thing. But when it comes to yoga, it's my my experience, my personal opinion, that if you want to become a yoga teacher, you need to really look at it as a lifelong path and really look at it, you know, look at the full potential of it. I know there's many people who practice yoga simply because they want to have like physical exercise, and that's okay for them. But for me, since I started yoga, it was always much more because the tradition at which I learned yoga is one with that has like a very strong inward focus. And this is, in my understanding, the root of the yogic science, as it goes back many thousands years. You know, it is a tool to turn inward and to explore the inner dimensions of this life. That is for me the very core of yoga. And I mean, yoga, the word itself means literally union. And so all the tools and methods and techniques which are helping us to, you know, get closer to that sense of union, to experience that, is what for me is yoga. So for me, you know, yoga means this exploring this super high potential. And so for me personally, it's the highest thing that, you know, you can do in your life, just to explore the full potential of this life. Okay, whether you want to label it yoga, whatever you want to label it, but to explore this full potential is the highest thing you can do. And accordingly, I want you to approach this, you know, this search, this like decision making, which training is right for you, you know, keep that in mind, keep that potential in mind. I think the first most important thing is, if you're considering teacher training, you first have to find the kind of yoga which is really, you know, helped you, which helped you to experience life in a deeper dimension. Because only by experience you can, you know, you can tell the difference between proper yoga and, you know, crap yoga, whatever you want to call it. You know, there's so much stuff out there. So you cannot possibly tell the difference by looking at a website or by looking at a brochure or listening even to anyone, you know, even listening to me. There's, you know, you cannot believe me. When it comes to yoga, it's a kind of subjective experience, and only from your own experience you will be able to tell what is good in your experience, what is, you know, solid yoga, what works, what doesn't. So if you really want to figure out which yoga teacher training is for you, I think it's the most essential step is that you find a yoga which is working for you. Because if you have not yet found that, then there's no way you can gauge and you can decide, looking at different teacher trainings, which one is good, which one is doesn't. You know, you can look at some basic parameters, you know, you can look at, okay, this is like 200 hours, this is like 500 hours, you know, and so forth. This costs like 2,000 euros, this costs 5,000 euros, this is offered in, you know, that nice place in maybe Thailand, this is offered in some kind of fancy retreat in Switzerland, whatever. But these are ultimately very superficial criteria, you know. You cannot go by these alone. The true thing is this kind of yoga, you know, is it helping you to turn inward? Is it an effective tool for you to explore your inner well-being, to explore the potential of this life? And this you can only experience yourself, so you have to find a practice which gives you this experience, and you need to find it. Once you find it, you do the teacher training, you know, which is from that tradition. You know, you have, this is another aspect when it comes to yoga, like one more maybe, you know, quicker, another aspect which is quicker to gauge is, but this is just additional, it's not like, it's not a substitute for what I just said, but one aspect is when it comes to yoga, you need to look at the tradition from which a particular school is coming, because really yoga is dating back so many thousands of years, and it has been transmitted, you know, from master to student in this, you know, usually always in this direct relationship. So look at the kind of school which is offering this teacher training, and look like, where is this tradition going back to? Where can you trace it back to? You know, who is the original founder of that school? Who is the teacher who's going to teach you? Who is the guru? You know, when it comes, I don't even want to mention the word guru because many people have so many prejudices against this word, but basically guru is just, you know, the master which is giving you guidance because he has experienced something and now he wants to help you to get that same experience. So he is, you know, guiding you on the way. When you go on a journey on unknown terrain which we haven't been yet, you go there with a map, or if you don't have a map, you take a guide with you, right? You wouldn't just go out there by yourself climbing a mountain somewhere. I mean, you wouldn't do that. So in a similar way, when you take that inward journey, why not taking the help of somebody who had already gone that journey? So that's all what a guru is. So you have to see in this tradition, in this school where you are offered this teacher training, who is that guru, you know, who is that master where this particular practice is traced back to. There's so many schools out there, you know, here in Germany who like offer these 200-hour programs in some kind of weekend format or something like that. You really have to gauge. You know, I don't want to make any generalizations, but you really have to gauge, is this something which is authentic? Another thing is, you know, it's very important in my experience, the location and the space where this training is offered, because, you know, yoga is really like such a live process. So the location and the space, the environment in which this is transmitted is so important and has such a huge impact, especially if you go to such a, you know, in-depth kind of program which is like kind of a teacher training. It is very important that the space in which this is offered is a very conducive space. You know, visit the space, like feel it, experience the space. Do you sense like there's some kind of energy which is conducive for transmitting this yoga, or is it just like that kind of space where it's like offered like, you know, there's some kind of seminar going on with some flip charts where you're gonna learn the theories of the chakras and stuff like that. You know, really experience the space and feel, is it something authentic? How does it make you feel? Another very thing which you can check quickly and easier, additionally to what I said before, is really look at the duration of the program. From what I've seen, there's really like anything offered between starting from 2 weeks crash courses to all the way, the longest training that I know really is like 21 weeks or 5 months. And then you have these kind of part-time programs where you have them in the weekend format, and then it's like in Germany every weekend you go somewhere. From my experience, if you really want to explore yoga in all its depth, you know, and I haven't even experienced in all its depth, but you want to go as deep as possible, you can only do that full-time, you know. So you have to dedicate a very, you know, good amount of time, full-time, in a dedicated space without too many distractions to really dive deep into it, you know. You have to ask yourself, is a 2-week or a 4-week program really gonna give you the opportunity to do this? always again keep in mind that you know, you want to basically lay the foundations with this training for a lifelong journey that only starts with the training. But for me, I don't know how it is for you, you know, for me yoga, teaching yoga is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And it's a wonderful thing about yoga, you know, you're not so much restricted, you know, you can really do it until then. Your body flexibility might not be so good anymore, but you can still teach it, you know, because you continue to practice it. I plan to practice it until my last day, because I know it's an inner journey. So it's not only with my physical body. So really check, you know, how long is that training, what is the space, where is it offered, and does this give you the opportunity to really explore it. So for example, that kind of training that I did, it was 5 months, okay, 21 weeks, and it was day in, day out, full time. It was super intense. Most of it was just, you know, practicing and really experiencing the practices in all its depth. And it was in a very conducive space in an ashram in South India, where basically an ashram means, you know, it's a place dedicated exclusively for the purpose of working on oneself. That's what literally means. The word ashram literally means a place to work on yourself. So that's the point of an ashram. They have created these protected spaces where you are without too many distractions and you can just focus on working yourself. So look for a place where you have this kind of conducive atmosphere. Check that the training has a certain duration. Check the tradition of the training. Where does the lineage go back to which master, to which guru? And is it still taught in a live manner, or is it just like taught in a dead mechanical way, you know? But most importantly, make sure that you first experience that kind of yoga for yourself before you start the teacher training. So if you're looking at different kind of traditions, different kind of schools, don't go by the paper, or don't go by videos or what you heard from somebody else. You really have to experience it first. So if you're not sure, you know, looking at different kind of trainings, if you're not yet sure, then I really would urge you to first and foremost, you know, just learn the practices and experience them and see which one is the one that works best for you. Because after all, you want to teach something that has worked for you, right? Otherwise, what's the point? It won't be fulfilling for you, and there's no point in teaching something if it hasn't worked for you. And I would not start a 5-month teacher training if I didn't yet, you know and have experienced some of it, at least had a taste of some of it. So I hope this kind of helps you. As you see, I cannot tell you specifically which kind of teacher trainings are the right ones. The one that I did definitely worked great for me, and you know, the kind of yoga that I'm practicing is just, for me, it's like really great. And I can, you know, if you want to learn about this particular training, you can definitely check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. But of course, maybe there are others out there. I don't think there are many trainings like this today. I'm not aware of any which are so intensive, which have this kind of duration, and you know, this require this kind of dedication and commitment like the training that I did. But maybe there are some others out there, could be, I'm not sure. All I'm saying is really, you know, check them out. Well, another aspect is of course the cost. You know, some people wondering why is it so expensive, but I would say, you know, don't look at this, because it's like a life investment. So don't go by, you know, this is cheaper than this or something. I think this is definitely saving at the wrong end, because yoga, you know, it has such a huge potential. So any price tag, if it's actually proper yoga and it works, you know, it's worth so much more than, you know, any kind of training like this would cost. Of course, if it doesn't work, then any price is too much. Then it's, you know, it's a waste of money. But if it does work, you know, it's just, you can't even compare it to what you pay. Yeah, I really urge you to, you know, spend some time exploring the practices, see which practices are working for you, and then, you know, choose that tradition, choose that school. So I hope this helped you in some way. If you have follow-up questions, please get in touch. Both Tina and Paula, feel free to reach out to me. Looking forward to hear back from you. And to all the others out there who are also in a similar position, if you're wondering which teacher training to take, I hope this helped. Again, all of you feel free to, you know, send me some questions, leave a comment below if you want to learn more about any of that. I can explore it much more, different aspects of it, different topics also, you know. Just let me know what you want to hear about. I want to make it interesting for you. If you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to this to my new YouTube channel, because I'm gonna bring out new videos every single week. So don't miss out on these videos. Make sure you subscribe. Just click on subscribe below and you'll get all of these, and we'll stay in touch. Guys, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope I see you again very soon. Bye, guys.